Special breaking news edition of the Kansas City Chiefs Report, powered by Chat Sports. Tyler Jones here with you as Juju Smith-Schuster is making his return to Kansas City on a one-year contract, according to Spotrac, that is valued at about $1.21 million, a veteran minimum deal, as the Patriots are still on the hook for $7 million minus whatever he earns this season in Kansas City. The Chiefs, you look at the situation, they were needing some help at the wide receiver position with the injury to Marquise Brown, and it's unknown of when exactly he's going to return, if he'll be available for the season opener next week against the Baltimore Ravens or not. But you bring in Juju, and I know that he's coming off a down year where he did not play well in New England last season. He was banged up for much of the year, and when he was on the football field, he didn't play that great either. But even with that said, this is a vet minimum deal. A guy that knows the system, knows this offense. In no way, shape, or form can this hurt you at all. If he doesn't have it, if he's struggling to stay healthy or be productive, then you move on and it doesn't cost you anything. And this team had plenty of cap space anyway. So for me, this makes a ton of sense for the Kansas City Chiefs. We'll tell you more about Juju and this move, what it does to the receiver room in Kansas City here in a moment. But want to hear from you guys first. What is your one-word reaction to the Chiefs signing Juju Smith-Schuster? Weigh in. Let us know in the comments section. Give me one word, your thoughts on this move by Kansas City. My one word is satisfied. This to me makes a ton of sense. I'm very satisfied with this move. This seems like just a no-brainer on the part of Brett Veach and Andy Reid here. Folks, this is why you subscribe to the Kansas City Chiefs Report. When Juju got released, you know who brought up the idea of bringing him back to Kansas City? This guy. We talked about it right here on the Kansas City Chiefs Report. We called it weeks ago, and here we are, and they made it happen. That's why you subscribe to the channel, folks, because we know what we're talking about here. Daily news and rumors. Got our live shows, watch parties, breaking news like you're seeing right now, Q&A mailbags and more. It's all in one place right here on this channel. And here we are, folks. We brought this video as quick as we could. We didn't even have graphics or anything. We just put a camera and press go. So for our timeliness and bringing you this news, to get you a video first thing in the morning, I just got up a little while ago. If you can help us out and subscribe and help us reach our next milestone of 57,000 subscribers, that would go a long way. We'd certainly appreciate it. Daily Chiefs coverage right here on the channel. Subscribe now for free. You'll be glad you did. All right, let's go over the resume of Juju. And most of you know Juju very well, but to kind of give you a refresher here, Juju, a 2017 second-round pick out of USC. And when he was a youngster, he was actually coached up by none other than the one and only Snoop Dogg in his younger days. So a little fun fact there in the Snoop Youth Football League. And Snoop gave him the nickname Sports Center, telling him that he believed his highlights would be shown on the flagship ESPN program someday. He sure enough was very right about that. Ended up getting drafted by the Steelers, played there from 2017 to 2021, and then joined the Chiefs in 2022, and was a part of the second of the 3 Super Bowls in the Mahomes era. And he played a pivotal role for this Chiefs team. It was the season, if you recall, after Tyreek left, when there was a lot of question marks of how that receiver room would ultimately stack up. And Juju did a solid job for his one season that he was here. Ultimately, he goes to free agency, and the Patriots were willing to give more money than the Chiefs were willing to. And he goes there, and last year was just a disaster in New England, with him struggling to stay healthy, him not being productive on the football field. But quarterback play, too. I think you have to mention this as well when it comes to Juju's time in New England last year. Quarterback play was just atrocious between Mac Jones and Bailey Zappi. The quarterbacks there did him no favors. So I'm sure he'll be glad to be in Kansas City, where he gets to play in the best offense in the league with the most talented quarterback in the league, as opposed to what he was dealing with last year. And the Patriots released him just a couple of weeks ago, making him a free agent. So they'll still be on the hook for that $7 million. plays for the league minimum here in Kansas City. Makes a ton of sense. We mentioned won that Super Bowl, and we all remember the infamous Bradbury play. And Juju kind of taunting him afterwards on social media. I thought that was hilarious. And you look back, a couple records that he has. He's the youngest receiver in NFL history with 1,500 receiving yards. Only player to score 2+ touchdowns of 97 yards or more in his career. So Juju, it's been a pretty good career for him to this point. And you look at the situation now for the Kansas City Chiefs of where this all stacks up. You don't sign Juju right before roster cutdown day unless you were going to put him on your 53-man roster. I'd be very surprised. I'd be shell-shocked if tomorrow on roster cutdown day, all of a sudden Juju's gone just like that. Juju's going to be on the 53-man roster. So then, how does the rest of the roster stack up? You got Worthy, Hollywood Brown, Rashee Rice as your top 3 receivers. With Hollywood's injury, does he begin the year on PUP? Does he go to short-term IR? Or do they think he's going to be back pretty soon and feel like they need to use a 53-man roster spot on that? That I don't know. That remains to be seen. We'll see what the Chiefs decide. We'll know that here in the next, 24+ hours or so. And then things start to get interesting. All right, who is going to ultimately be the odd man out in this equation? Justin Watson's going to make the roster. McCole Hardman, Skyy Moore, Nico, Kadarius, Justin, Cornell Powell, and Juju here. I'll say this. Although we don't know what ultimately Andy and Brett are going to decide for who gets those last roster spots at the wide receiver position, the spin zone, I think, where you're feeling good if you're Kansas City is you're at a position of strength that you have some pretty good options here that you will be leaving some decent players at home when it's all said and done here. Whether you go with Hardman, Ross, Toney, Nico, Skyy Moore, whatever combination you ultimately decide to go with, you're going, I think, to be in good shape because you're talking about those guys for the 5th, 6th, 7th receiver spot. I think you have a good problem to have, essentially, if you're the Kansas City Chiefs right now with where you're at with that receiver room. So I feel pretty good about what ultimately happens. Do I know how it's all going to play out? No, I don't have the answers for you, who they're ultimately going to decide when roster cutdown day comes tomorrow. But no matter what, you're in a position where you're saying to yourself, hey, we're actually in pretty decent shape. This wide receiver room is a whole lot better than it was at this time a year ago. They've come a long way, and Juju only adds to that. There's nothing negative about this signing when it comes to Juju Smith-Schuster. How would you grade the signing? A, B, C, D, or F? I mean, you bring back a guy that knows the offense on a cheaper deal that costs you essentially nothing. I mean, that's an A from me. And it didn't hurt you at all. Like, I don't know how that could not be an A to bring Juju back. Get your grades in the comment section and let us know what you think on this potential move. Let me tell you about today's sponsor. That is Prize Picks. Prize Picks is the place to go for daily fantasy made easy. Here's how it works. Choose 2 or more players on any given category. Get the choice of more or less, whether you're talking fantasy points in football, rebounds in basketball, goals in hockey, home runs in baseball. Go to prizepicks.com/CLNS, promo code CLNS for a $100 deposit match on your first deposit. I'm looking ahead to the start of the football season. I got our guy Patrick Mahomes to have more than 4,299.5 passing yards. I got Geno Smith, the Seattle Seahawks, to have more than 21.5 passing touchdowns. If both those hit, and I put $20 down, that's going to turn into $60 on Prize Picks, folks. Play along with me. PrizePicks.com/CLNS. Promo code CLNS for that $100 deposit match. The link is in the comments and the description of today's video. Prize Picks, proud partner of the Kansas City Chiefs Report. Final thoughts when it comes to Juju. I know that there are some folks out there that don't like kind of Juju's attitude, his corniness. He's been dubbed TikTok boy and all that. But, I mean, the guy is well liked among players in his own locker room. He's a guy you want on your team, brings good energy. To me, I would put all that aside. If it becomes an issue, if for whatever reason that's a distraction, which I don't think it will be, Brett Veach, Andy Reid, Patrick Mahomes, they know how to handle things appropriately. I think Juju, it's, kind of pressure's on, right? Because this is his kind of last shot after that disappointing season in New England to figure it out here. And I think he will figure it out. I think he'll have a nice season, have a good fit here in Kansas City. For continuing Chiefs coverage, subscribe now to the Kansas City Chiefs Report. I'm Tyler Jones. Thanks for joining us. We'll see you next time.